Hi, I'm Evie Wusk, and I coordinate the HAL program. You're supposed to have a meeting with me tomorrow night, but I was making a video for the folks who couldn't make it and thought everybody could watch that and it could save us all some time. So please watch this whole video. There's an assignment for you, an email to send at the very end. If you'd still like to meet me or you have questions or concerns, I'll still be at the high school tomorrow from 5:30 to 6:15, so stop on by, but otherwise you can just watch the video. So here we go. If we gave the same running workout to 100 people, a few, this group on the left, the blue, are going to be huffing and puffing and maybe injured. The majority are going to be enjoying it. It's a good fit for them. And then a few over here on the right, this yellow group, are going to be saying, I want to run farther. I want to run faster. And my job here at Waverly or District 145 is to support these kids on the right in any way that looks. My background, I like to start with why I even do this. This is me in middle school, and I thought I looked cool in my Z Cavarici shirt. But not only did I feel a little weird on the inside because I learned things quickly, I was thinking about the world in, I think, a different way than my peers. And I also had the awesome experience of wearing a scoliosis back brace. So this age, this 4th through 8th grade that I work with now, was a really tough time for me. And so I come to this work with a great passion for helping students figure out who they are. Oh, there's the bells. Figure out who they are and just feel comfortable in their own skin. So that's my personal side to the story. Structurally, in Nebraska, we have Rule 3 that says we're supposed to support high ability learners, which is the group that your student's been identified in. So that's why I'm here in a larger level. So at Waverly, the history of our program started in 2010-11. A team got together and did a lot of research and said, what's the best practice for this? And then in 2012, 2013, they piloted the program. And in 2013, 2014, they reflected, looked back, added, revised, and that gives us the program that we have today. So you might be wondering, how did my child get into this HAL program? We identify with multiple measures, so we use a couple of standardized tests. The cognitive ability test is a different kind of test. So if you're wondering, well, what if my kid doesn't test so well? We're trying to get at the kids from some different angles. And then the last part of the identification process is this, it's an acronym, but it basically is a behavioral scale that teachers fill out and say, this is what I'm seeing in the classroom. So our hope is through those multiple measures, we catch all the kids who would fall in that bucket of benefiting from HAL support. So our program has 3 parts. It's a pretty straightforward, simple program, and personally, I just really like it. If my kid went to Waverly and was identified as HAL, I would be excited for them to be a part of this. So I'm going to go through those 3 parts pretty quickly and hopefully show you some student examples. I hate showing examples because it gets us thinking small. HAL projects can look very different. So my hope is in sharing these examples, it just gets us started thinking and doesn't say this is how it has to look. So the first part of the program are seminars. So if your child comes home and says, I have a HAL seminar, what that means is for the normal school day time, instead of going to their normal classroom, they will be with me, either doing exploratory activities in the HAL room at the middle school or on a field trip to some place. This is an example at our architecture and bridge building seminar of students working with a real architect from Davis Design and getting some hands-on experience. The whole point of these days is to expand students' just horizons and help them to see what makes them tick, and hopefully just give them an experience that they wouldn't have had in the normal school day. Now, when your students' seminar days come up, they will get a paper copy either on their locker you will also get an email home that says, hey, seminar's coming up. Don't forget to get your sign-out sheet signed by your teacher so you have all of your homework done ahead of time. The last thing that we want is for seminars to cause more stress. We want them to add to your students' school experience. This is Another example of students at a seminar, we went to UNL Computer Science. Students got to experience some of their drone experiments and try out 3D technologies. So seminars are coming up. You should have an attachment in this email that tells what your 2 seminars are, and the dates are on there so you can put them in your calendar. Okay, there are some new seminars, so I hope the students that signed up for those are really going to enjoy them. I'm excited about them. Okay, so that's part 1. Part 2 is the HALP, H-A-L-P, High Ability Learning Project. So the student is going to come up with something they want to explore, something they're passionate about, some skill they want to learn, and then explore that this year with my support and guidance. And then at the end of the year at HAL night, the students share what they did. So here's a great example. Dalton did some 3D printing with his uncle and just printed scale models of some of the elements. So he got to do something he hadn't done before, and then he got to share it with others. And as you can see, the HAL night, it's not like the kids are up in front talking at everyone. It's more like a gallery walk or a poster presentation. So parents and friends, community members are walking around, and it's more an informal conversation. And the students basically have to have like their best 5 minutes. If you could tell us what you learned in 5 minutes, what would it be? Okay, here's another example. Cecilia is really into music, so she spent the year exploring music, learning more about it, getting specific about some composers, and then she shared what she learned. Saren is an artist, so she spent the year making some dog paintings, and I love this next step she took. It wasn't just that she painted, but that she gave the paintings to people with sort of this altruistic intention. It's really cool. I know you're not supposed to have favorites, but Wyatt's was my favorite project last year. His grandmother, unfortunately, passed away from this obscure Creutzfeldt-Jacobs disease, so Wyatt spent his time researching that topic that was really meaningful to him, and then he could share that information with his family. This is another great example of a student who really went all out. She wanted to know more about just Nebraska pioneers, and so she went on a trip with her mom. She cooked some saltwater cookies. She even dressed up that night. I just love the creativity she put into this. It made me excited about something that, frankly, when I was in school, I always felt like the pioneer unit was kind of boring, but when she talked about it, it made me excited. And I think that is the key for the HAL project not being just one more thing to do. It's finding that perfect topic that lights you up where it doesn't feel like work. So to support that this year, there is a new feature for 6th and 7th graders. They will, on one of the early outs coming up, have another pull-out day with me where we're just going to talk project topics and get a really great topic narrowed down. I have some videos to share that hopefully will get their creativity spinning, and hopefully I'll take some of the stress off of just at home that they're doing the projects at home. Last thing I want to say about projects is a lot of students present these with a board. It does not have to be with a board. It can be a computer screen. It could be just, here's the book I wrote. Here's the thing I crocheted. Whatever the student is passionate about, a skill they have, something they want to learn more about this year that they think is going to help them in their education. And so I'll help them narrow those topics down very soon. Oh, one more project I forgot. Landon built his own computer. What? I don't know how to build a computer, but it was cool to support him and connect him with key people. I think that's another cool part about the HAL project, in that because of this project, Landon got to talk to our tech guys at the school, and they kind of figured out, hey, this kid knows a lot about technology. So now that he's in high school this year, he's built some of those relationships with experts. So when I hear the word research, it sounds like bleh, drudgery. But when you're doing research about something you're really passionate about, it ends up being cool because you get connected to people who are into the stuff you're into. And if last year was any evidence for me, when I watch these kids really talk to people who are professionally doing things that they're interested in, they just light up like firecrackers. They just are talking with more confidence, sitting up straight. They just sound like little adults. And maybe that's not the goal, but it makes me excited for them and what they're going to achieve as high schoolers and beyond, that they're having these experiences at such a young age. Okay, the third part of the program is very simple. It's just flat support. I'm here to support your child be the best version of his or herself during their time here at school. So for the majority of kids, that just means I'm encouraging them. I'm listening to them. They're not having a lot of problems socially or emotionally, so I don't go there with them. But for a few of our kids, being a high ability learner is, people in LPS, they call it gifted. We don't hear, but sometimes it doesn't feel like a gift. Sometimes it feels like a curse. And so I'm here to support our students anytime they just are feeling different in their own skin. Maybe they're understanding the complex world at an adult level and they have this adolescent physiology, so that's a hard time in life. So I'm here to support them and help them navigate that water. Also, I have some students who really struggle with perfectionism. They won't take any risks, or maybe they're underperforming. They have this great potential, but they just want to, I don't know, blend in. And so it's my hope to try and help bring out the best in them, help them really say those things that they're thinking, and I don't know, just better wield what it means to be in this world and be thinking the way that they do. And so that looks different for every student. So at the end of the video, I'm going to ask for your feedback, and this is very important to me. Can you please send me an email that helps me understand how I can best support your child from your viewpoint? I will ask the kids as well, but it helps to get a parent viewpoint or guardian viewpoint too, of what do you see in them? You've had way more experience with them than I have, so any insight you can give me is so welcome. Okay, so this is the homework time. If I had you at the high school with me, I'd hand you a green sheet of paper and ask that you write your wows and wishes for your child. So can you please do that to me or write that for me in an email? So what are your wows? When you look at this kid, are you wowed by their amazing emotional depth and empathy? Are you wowed by their ability to read Harry Potter for hours on end? Are you wowed with their quirky sense of humor? Whatever it is that makes you just go, this kid has just got an extra strength, talent, interest, or passion. And maybe it's just that they're an all-around cool kid. I want to know what that is from your viewpoint. And also, just what are your wishes for them? Whether it's through HAL or in their life in general, what would your hope be for them? And this could also be the space in the wish space to tell me any worries you have. If there's anything where you're like, I'm kind of concerned, if you let me know those things, I can better help support and connect them in their regular classroom day. Okay, and then I put this asterisk here to remind myself, the new seminars we have this year were born out of student interest, but came to reality this year because of random connections with people in the community. So if you know of anybody in the Lincoln or Waverly or probably within a half-hour drive of the school who are just people who have really cool businesses or cool life experiences that you think could partner with us to build an enriching seminar for kids, let me know those connections, because I'm always brainstorming and listening for student interests for how we can add just a richer experience next year. Okay, last but not least, at Waverly, our focus is on the regular classroom. We want to differentiate in the regular classroom and help that experience to be challenging and enriching. So if there's ever a way that I can help support or connect things in your students' day-to-day, let me know. I love it that we have these 2 cool seminar days to broaden our horizons, that we have this project to work on together. But I also want to be a support throughout their regular classroom life, because that's the majority of their time. So just know my door is always open, I guess you could say. I am only in the district Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Some weeks there's a weird exception if I have a conference or something, but the majority of the time I'm here at those times. But I will have my cell phone number in the email that this goes out with, so feel free to call or text me anytime. I respond to HAL questions any day of the week. And email too, I'm pretty good at getting back to email in a timely manner. So just let me know. I'm here to support you, your family, and your child. So thanks so much. Go ahead, you can stop the movie, send me an email with your child's wows and wishes, and just know I'm here to support you. If you still want to come and introduce yourself and meet me, on, sorry, my Flash player is jumping up, and meet me tomorrow night. Come, I'll be at the high school auditorium, and I would love to shake your hand and just visit with you about HAL. So thanks so much.